Yo, today is day 30, 21 of the Extreme Reset series. Let's fucking go. We got the moon up there. Yeah. Let's talk about the final chakra that we're gonna unlock. But before that, like always, I am grateful for the moon above. Good shit. Because it looks good. I'm grateful for the moon. I remember watching the moon every time, I would be stressed out of my life back then because there were too many studies that I need to do, too many school works that I need to do. So I remember doing all of that shit, looking at the moon and then hoping one day it's gonna be fine, that, my mental health is gonna be fixed finally. I'm grateful for the moon. I'm grateful for this week's series, which was all about unlocking all our chakra. And this isn't gonna be perfect. Like I said, you gotta find out what chakra is not being as open as it should be as compared to the rest of them, because we all have our own weaknesses basically. So you want to find that out, and how can I be better today? How can you be better today? For me, I can be better by drinking a little more water every single morning. Because I drink water, but I'm not like drinking it like I used to. Because back in the 2020 lockdown, Corona lockdown, bro, I used to drink like 2 liters of water in the morning right as soon as I wake up, bro. I was a fucking like camel that time. So gotta drink more water than ever. Not necessarily, 2 liters, or just like 1 liter at least, like half liter at least. So that is something that I can be doing to become better today from now on. Let's talk about the final chakra, the crown chakra. As I said, it deals with pure cosmic energy. Pure cosmic energy. Imagine that. It is blocked by earthly attachment. Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a bit. We're talking about material possessions, earthly attachment. So just think about it. People have this concept of like, yeah, don't be attached to this materialistic world. This is the reason, because if not, your crown chakra is basically gonna be blocked. All those insights of what you should be getting wouldn't be getting to you as much as it is supposed to. Basically, you wouldn't be living up to your best potential as you should be if you're having these materialistic mindsets, which is of course the truth, as you can find it for yourself. Because when you act a certain way just so you can fulfill this materialistic life desires, what happens is that you start making shitty choices. Maybe you're trying to like impress someone at school, so you buy that fancy accessories. It can be fine, it can be good, but again, like, if you don't need it, then what is the use of buying those extra outfits or like accessories? People like to do this a lot. Like for me, I was like obsessed with outfits, okay, because again, I was in a relationship back then, which is why I was kind of materialistic, at least much more than I am right now. Bro, I used to like be obsessed about my possessions, and it's a good thing because you need a certain level of possessions, like you need certain level of emotion, but there's got to be a boundary. You cannot always be materialistic person. You see, I was obsessed with like buying shoes. Oh, what shoes should I buy next? And then at the end of the day, it was my parents who were buying it. Now, I'm trying to make some money, trying to live purposefully, grinding as hard as I can, working out as hard as I can, improving my health, mental health at the same time, and also my learnings and knowledge. So basically, you want to meditate on it. What if you lose it all? Because most of the time we don't do this because it kind of suck. We don't want to even like imagine how it feels like to just lose it all. But that is exactly what you want to do. You want to figure out how would life be if you just like lose it all. Okay, imagine you just came home. Like most most of the things are gone and just kind of like no possessions at all. So when you do that, what actually happens is you get this like a realization. I'm just thinking about it as I'm doing this. Okay, kind of weird. Someone just passed me by and then she was like running and all that. I'm kind of outside right now. So that's that. Man, I'm just thinking about if I lose everything, man. Like you can also do this right now. Just think about like you come home and everything is gone. Just take time to meditate on that right now. You come home and everything is gone. All your materialistic possessions and your basic items, perhaps even your family. Just imagine that, man. Kind of sucks, but you really gotta drill that into you. Not to get deeper about it or something, but to understand what emotions you feel, how you feel when you're thinking about those. Because being attached with the world is like, I don't know how it feels like because I don't know how it feels like to be at the other end of the equation, which is to be not attached at all with this world, but which is something I'm practicing and getting a feel of it. Because it is said that atheists, the people who don't believe in God or anything, who just, I don't know what your beliefs are, most of the time, it is said that your crown chakra is not as often as it is supposed to be. So when you are a spiritual person, I believe you get more of this detachment from this world, from this materialistic world, as we can all see from what is happening in these spiritual communities. And like, it's basically knowing that there is something greater. Because the only reason for you to, detach from everything, it's like you gotta feel liberated. It's like you have to know that there is something else propelling you to do so, compelling you to this, for you to do so. And I was just reading this book, 1001 Inventions That Changed the World, from 200 million BC era up up to this date. Every inventions that changed the world, and I'm just reading and I'm like, damn, the world has progressed a lot, and everyone has their own lives in their certain timelines. You see, outside this physical world, I'm talking about like the spiritual world. It's like there is nothing bound by time or space. Everything happens at the same time. So just thinking about it, I'm like, bro, I'm kind of like grateful for this moment that I'm at. I could have been in the 1970s, joining a rock band or some shit like that. But I'm kind of grateful for this timeline, for this family that I'm born with. Life is kind of like a video game. Imagine yourself like a video game player in this world, right? Because if you just do that, it's like kind of vague. Okay, but let me tell you, imagine yourself in this world, in this timeline. Now we're talking. Now we're talking about the timeline because you could have been in any time of this world, any place of this world, but you are born with that family of yours, with that place, with this body, with that mind of yours, which is not you, because at the end of the day, the spiritual people just encourage us to understand that you are not the body, and you are not even the mind. You are not the thinker. You are the one operating behind the thinker. I don't know how this makes. I don't know how to put this to make sense, but you get what I mean. There are levels to this shit. So you could think about, what if you lose it all, right? Like I just did right now. What if I lose it all? Yeah, kind of sucks. But then it's like I'll be kind of like lonely if I lose it all, with no family, no friends. Imagine no possessions. You just come home, there, no clothes. I lost my phone. There's no more YouTube channel. Imagine that. Damn, that would be an empty life. But then you gotta remember where you came from. You came from emptiness. Before the Big Bang Theory, there was no you. There was no universe. Even after the universe, before you were born, there was no you. I think this quote, which my Hindi teacher shared to me, it is, I don't know the exact quote again, but he used to teach us the idea like, you came in this world with nothing, you go with nothing. Same shit like that. That really humbles the fuck out of you, because you realize, damn, the baseline is below what I thought. I actually don't have anything in this world. And then you're just like suddenly so much grateful for this, even this slightest like socks, or this random fucking things. You start to do that. So you gotta let go of the materialistic possessions that you have. I'm not saying to sell your car, or maybe you don't have a car. Of course you don't. I'm not telling you to abandon your family or some shit like that. But you gotta be having the ability to be ready for what it takes, because anything worse could happen in this unpredictable world. And I'm not telling you to constantly live with like a independence mindset, that you don't need your family, that you are showing them, I don't need you guys, I don't need you. No, no, no. You still live in a peaceful way, but you still gotta have the ability to, in a weird way, still be okay with your families being gone, your possessions being taken away. Because again, like, you are not your jacket, you are not your I'm wearing a jacket, that's what came into my mind. You are not the house that you live in. You are not the phone that you have. You're not you're not your clothes, you're not your outfits, you're not your fancy Air Jordan shoe. You're not your In fact, you're not even your face. This is just something given to you. This is not your possessions. Maybe at least you may be thinking like, oh man, at least this is my body, this is what I'm born with, at least this is me. But again, this is something that is given to you, not attached to you. The real you is something like consciousness. That again, consciousness is like everything. Because at the end of the day, when you are talking about consciousness, it's like, you are me. You watching this right now, bro, you are me. It's just that you are given this body that is separate. It's just that you are given this eyes, face that is separate from mine. But deep down, we are not attached with this body, and that makes us a separate self, which is so much separate from this physical world, which is the consciousness, which is connected to everything. There are like what, 7, 8 people watching this live stream right now. Bro, we are all like one. at the least, like, we are coming together to watch this. At least this shit is cool. Literally cold. Okay, so what you want, the best case scenario, you want the best case scenario, right? So the best case scenario is basically you let go of all your earthly attachment. You let go of them. This is not to necessarily say that letting go means disappearing. It doesn't disappear anywhere. You just let it go away from your identity. You don't let that define who you are, because at the end of the day you are who you choose to be, and that is mainly to do with internal. Because okay, maybe you are still not who you choose to be, but the way we translate it to the physical world is basically who you choose to be. Because in this physical world we can't really see consciousness. We still gotta be a little bit practical with this, because consciousness, I'm talking about collective consciousness, that we are all one, but then it's like in physical world it's so much different. But then yeah, that doesn't prove the fact wrong, but still you choose who you are supposed to be, letting go of all this earthly attachment. I think it was like Fight Club, some quotes from Fight Club. It talks about something like, you are not your car, you are not your house, you are not your clothes, you are not your some shit like that, because you are you, like the person you choose to be. Accept what defines you, like all the definitions that this materialistic world gives you, that is not you. When you are stripped away, naked, maybe even bald, naked, you see the real you, what you actually deserve, that you come from nothing. You've been born naked. You don't possess anything. Everything that you think defines you, especially of this materialistic world, that is kind of like given to you for some temporary period of time. You're not gonna take that away when you die. And by the way, the people who believe in eternal life and who believe in this like spiritual stuff, they get their crown chakra, which we're talking about, more open than the rest. So surrender yourself to the point where you are even letting go of what you have grown to love. That means like your girlfriend, maybe your ex, maybe your family. Because we spend time with each other, in relationship, or maybe even with our parents, and over time we grow this sort of like love for each other, a caring, you know, just this connection with each other. You gotta let go of that. And this is not to necessarily say that you break up with them, you leave your home, you leave your family, nothing like that. Don't be stupid. Be having the ability to let go. Being having this ability to let go, this will open your crown chakra. And I don't know how it feels like to have opened your crown chakra fully, but I think it's part of enlightenment. And it is said like the journey from the third eye, which we talked about yesterday, to what we're talking today, it's like unique for all individuals, because from the root chakra, like from day 15 that we have talked about, to your third eye, it could be the same. The paths, the enlightenment, the epiphanies could be somewhat similar, but from the third eye to the crown chakra, it's like unique for all individual. So let go of the things that doesn't matter, like let go directly, literally let go of things doesn't matter. And still, like when we're talking about relationship, practically what you want to do is like still have this ability to let go, but not like act in an egotistical, independent way in front of the people that you care about at the same time. But again, you must realize that you deserve nothing. I mean, in a way that you aren't supposed to be attached with anything. You came with nothing, you go with nothing. That is the end of the day, which is what in a weird way motivates us to do our best in this world that we're given, especially not just the place that we live in, the house that we're born, but the timeline that we're born. Because again, we could be born in China in the 700 BC. We could be born in that time, blasting firecrackers and all that shit, gunpowders and all of those shits. Part of the way is like the way of the minimalist. Look at all your things in your room right now. Eliminate the things that you don't want in your life. It could be the old book, it could be the old stationaries or some things that you don't want. For me, I removed my old painting stuff because I don't paint anymore. I'm getting rid of it, no more attachment. And that, in fact, if that is like for most people, they would find a hard time removing that thing, maybe because they have like an attachment to it. But you can just say who are attached to who, because most people are attached to this world. They don't want to let go of the old things, even though that doesn't matter. It's like you can just tell if you get to this point where you have done it yourself. You may not have perfected it, but when you have done it, that is powerful. And by you watching this live stream, you have just done some part of it. But majority of this work is like visualization and meditation about what happens when everything is taken away, and why do you feel what you feel when that happens, and what do you need to do in order to not be blocked by this earthly attachment, because again the crown chakra is heavily blocked by earthly attachment. So be open to your higher source rather than just yourself, basically. Higher source, it could be, if you're a very religious person, it could be like God. If you're an atheist, I don't know what is it for you, because I'm not an atheist, but yeah, embrace God. Because you gotta be open to the idea that this isn't just the only planet. You must be open to this idea that, yeah, there might be extraterrestrials are out there that we are not able to recognize, because maybe our capability as an third dimensional individuals are too less. Our ability are too less. We can't even comprehend how it is like in the outer space. Maybe we can't visually see it or feel it with our senses because we've not been built to do so, but maybe there are already aliens out there. Maybe we're not being able to sense it with our senses, six senses, five senses, whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, we're just earthlings, born in Earth, and then Earth is just a ball. Still a huge ball for us, but it's again like a ball in this infinite universe. So you gotta be open to this idea of like, yeah, there's so much more. Yeah, this world is kind of like nothing. You also gotta have this like arrogance, I guess, whatever you wanna call it, cockiness or something. You gotta be having this idea like, yeah, Earth is nothing. I don't have to be attached for it. Not just Earth is nothing, but Earth is nothing, therefore I don't have to be attached to it. I came from nothing, I go with nothing. Improve your life. One step at a time, always. And next week we're gonna do some real hard shits and end 2023 real strong. Christmas is coming, by the way. So I'm gonna do live stream around night, I think, because that is working the best for most people. Are foxed. Some people on my Discord, they texted me and replied that the time is fine, you just do it around this time. So yeah, around this time. Gotta see you next week. I'm gonna like plan totally now. Right now I've got some planned whatever to do. So tomorrow hard shits begin. But still, you still want to take a look at all the things that you have learned from this week about all these chakras, because this is life changing if you take it seriously. Improve your life one step at a time, always, once again.